Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fried Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. Well, Kimberly Murgatroyd, how are you today?
I am just Ducky.
Hey, you know, we're getting Ducky. Ducks don't look that happy to me, to be honest with you.
They're waddling.
They're mean as fuck, too.
They're not.
Did you ever get near a duck?
Yes, I used to feed them all the time, French fries.
I got bit by one once. They have these little
You have
teeth.
PTS Duck D.
Today, we're going to talk about our 5 favorite health hacks. You know, we are obsessed with health, and what we're really after is we want to feel our best.
Does that have anything to do with the fact that you're turning 52?
It does, actually. It does. It really, really does.
You look really good.
Oh, you know what? Thank you, honey. Can you say it again? You know, we put ourselves through everything. We're like freaking guinea pigs. We put ourselves through everything from bulletproof coffee, which for me
made you fat.
Wasn't so good. We've even tried vegetarianism, which I don't know why. That's just. I feel like it's like I tried it once in college.
That's really funny.
I don't know why. I went
through this experimental phase.
Yeah, I went through this thing. Some of these things worked and some of these things didn't. Today, we're going to share the 5 things that we love and use the most. As always, discuss any new supplements or medications with your doctor before beginning a regimen. What was that? There was like a Tylenol commercial.
I know, it is. Listen, when you're talking about health and different things, especially we're about to talk about adaptogenic herbs.
Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. This is especially true with adaptogenic herbs, as several of them interact with prescription medications that are not recommended for people with certain conditions. Okay, Kim, go ahead.
Oh my God. We just found a new gift. I am going to so pimp you out for that. I don't even know what that was. Who are you?
All right. The first thing we do is we start each day with adaptogenic herbs, which has changed my life. Honey, tell them what this is.
So adaptogens and adaptogenic herbs are healing plants. They help to balance, restore, and protect the body. My favorite is the herbs that actually help with chronic stress, because when your body is in that fight or flight all day, so whether you're at work and you get stressful information, you got to call a client, or your kids are driving you nuts, or whatever it is, your cortisol is constantly being triggered, which is increasing body fat and causing lots of different inflammation and drama in your body. So using adaptogens to help control and tamper that stress response with cortisol is a game changer in your health. So for us, we start every single morning with an adaptogenic herb tea. Sometimes we throw it in our shake if we're too busy, but most of the time it's best on an empty stomach. And, that for me, literally, we call it mommy juice, liquid gold. That is a game changer. And ours is blended with B vitamins. So it gives you a little bit of energy too, without like that caffeine crack.
And if anybody wants to learn more about this, because we get people that ask us all the time about these products that we talk about, etc., the easiest way to do it would be to DM us. I'm at Rob Murgatroyd and she's at, wait for it,
Kim Murgatroyd.
Just send us a DM.
Shocker.
Send us
on
a DM.
Instagram.
Yep, on Instagram, and we'll help you out. You know, when you were talking about just a minute ago about cortisol levels rising and lowering, it made me think, our brain is, 2 million years old, right? Well, the only time we got stressed back in the day, the caveman day, was when the lion was coming at us, right? So it was a couple of times a day.
Which is like not often.
Right. But like walking around this house with with a 3-year-old, a wife, a dog, and life and financial pressures and all these business stress and all these things, I could see how we're not designed to go into that stress response at the rate that we go into these stress responses. So it only makes sense to have some kind of protocol in place to mitigate against that.
Yeah. And a lot of people, are suffering with adrenal fatigue because their adrenals are getting popped 10 times a day. Well, that's where they get fatigued.
Now, for those of you that don't know what an adrenal is, and forgive this if you do, but when you have an adrenaline response, that adrenaline comes from your adrenal gland. Well, if you keep pumping out adrenaline, then your adrenals are going to become sluggish. And when you need them, they're not going to be functioning as well as them not being stimulated as often as they are.
Yes. So in a multitude of ways that you can control stress and help relieve stress, which we've talked about lots on this podcast, this is just another one that is plant-based, natural, and it, for me, has been a complete game changer.
All right. So let's talk about this giant brontosaurus thing you have in our kitchen right now. It looks like the Flintstones basically came in here and brought their lunch. The second one is, if you haven't figured out, the second one is bone broth that helps heal your gut and improve joint health. So explain to me why you are boiling
a brontosaurus
T-Rex in our kitchen right now. Why is that helping?
Okay, so every couple weeks, I try to make a bone broth. So this comes from, bone broth, like you said, it helps to help seal and heal your gut. It also it helps with joint health because it has a lot of collagen in it, but it also helps to boost your immune system. So especially in the winter, fall, school season, school's back, I'm always kind of cooking up a bone broth, maybe once or twice a month. I actually just did a video on this yesterday that I'm going to be putting on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me at Kim Murgatroyd, and you'll see the video in a few days with the recipe that I use. But basically, bone broth is super nutrient dense. It's easy to digest for anyone. It has a lot of flavor, but it really helps to heal your body. And what I love about bone broth the most is that it hits so many different areas. It helps with treatment of leaky gut. It can help you overcome food intolerances and allergies by helping to heal and seal your gut. It helps, like I said, with joint health. It can actually reduce cellulite. I know, crazy, right? And boost your immune system. And the reason that it boosts your immune system is because 80% of your immunity is found in your gut. So if your gut is damaged, if you're suffering from all of these different gut issues, IBS and such, your immune system probably is pretty weak as well. And so when you do things to heal your gut, that is where your natural immunity takes over and increases. So, everybody knows or hears, when you're sick, have chicken soup. Well, this is where that comes from.
Never knew that. Now, I'll tell you, this is where I can play a big role in helping you explain this to people. It tastes really freaking good, which is the thing you wouldn't think boiling a bone would actually taste good, but it is a really, really good soup.
Yeah, and Sophia loves it. And so here's what I do. I use beef bone marrow bones. And you want to make sure you find a great source that they're not filled with antibiotics and, been injected with hormones. Otherwise, that stuff is stored in those bones, in that marrow, and you're just going to be drinking antibiotic soup, which is not exactly what you're doing it for. You're doing it for the opposite. You're doing it for health. So, I find those bones, and like I said, the recipe will be on my IG. But then after I have this giant batch, I put some into mason jars in the fridge, and then I put some into a freezer in ice cube trays. And that way I can pop out an ice cube of bone broth and make a really simple soup for Sophia. She will drink bone broth alone.
Oh, shit. I didn't know you did that.
Amazing.
When I take an ice cube out, it could be a bone broth if I'm putting it in water.
You would know. It's a different color. Okay. So you would know, but that's pretty funny. So bone broth is something that for your entire body, skin health, collagen, anti-aging, all of that, bone broth is another game changer.
Two questions for you. One is, where do you get the bones, and how often should you eat it?
Okay. So, you can have it as often as you want. So you can do it daily if you want. You can do it every other day. If you're really trying to boost your immune system, you want to do it daily. Where I get my bones right now, because we live in the city, is at Whole Foods. They actually have a separate freezer for bones for broth.
Wow. You can buy just bone... Mm-hmm. Why would you not just buy bone broth?
You can, but I don't know. I think it's super simple to make. One, it's going to be cheaper. Two, you can buy now frozen bone broth versus the stuff that's in the can or, regular like chicken broth or whatever. That stuff most of the time is just like sodium and meat flavoring. It's not actually
So it's like
broth.
anything else. You know what you're putting in it.
You know what you're putting into it. And it's so easy to make. And, for the $8 I spend on the bones, I can make 3 times the broth that you're going to buy, in the freezer section. But I would prefer to get it from a farm that I knew if I wanted to.
If you had your choice of the bones.
Yes.
Okay, number 3, let's talk about fasting.
Okay, so here's another one where I'm talking about gut health. So fasting has so many benefits. It's been used for thousands of years. Yes, it burns fat, especially between hours 24 and 48, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So yes, people use fasting. I use fasting. My entire nutrition line uses fasting to help burn fat and burn visceral fat. But here is the sneaky side health benefit. Again, I just talked about healing your gut. Your body, we know this, right? You go to the gym, you work out your muscles, and then what do you have to do for those muscles to get stronger? You have to allow them time to repair. You have to allow them a rest day. And so when you have fasting as a part of your routine, you're allowing your gut a rest day. You're allowing your gut time to heal and repair itself, to regenerate cells. And when you do that, guess what? Your gut gets healthier and your immune system, like I mentioned before, goes up. And so what I didn't realize that was necessarily when I started fasting, many years ago, what I did not realize was, do you remember, Rob, how I was always sick?
Yep, I do.
And I would come to your office. I always had some illness that was going on. And shortly after, maybe 6 or 8 months after I started this, weekly fasting or bi-monthly fasting, and I'm never sick anymore. All of a sudden, my immune system has really kicked in. We used to say all the time, oh, Kim's got a low immune system. Well, that's not true. I just wasn't doing what I needed to do for my gut health. And now that I do, my immune system is amazing. It's just like yours. We used to joke that you had the best immune system. Well, now mine matches yours,
I felt like you were going to say yours is better.
No, I was not going to say. We teach Sophia not to say that someone's better than the other, right?
That's right.
There's that. So other things with fasting. So here's the deal with fasting. You can do it multiple ways. Intermittent fasting, super trendy and popular right now. You can fast for 14 to 18 hours. Basically, let's say 8 to 10 of those you're sleeping. So you're eating a little later in the morning and finishing your meals earlier at night. That is the daily model of intermittent fasting. Or you could do a 24-hour fast weekly, or you could do it up to 48 hours twice a month. And that window from 24 to 48 hours is where your body really hones in and has gone through its detox process and really allows your body to begin burning body fat, especially the visceral fat around the organs. That is the part that is so important, is that visceral fat. So the system that I use you could just fast. I prefer to do a nutritionally supported fast where I actually still get all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients my body needs while allowing digestion to heal. And so that's what I choose. I have an aloe vera based drink that's filled with minerals. I have some different things that I do. And if you guys have questions about that, again, IG me and I'm happy to jump on a call with you and explain or send you some information. But another thing with fasting is that, I get a lot of people that are like, oh my God, I don't want to lose my muscle. I don't want to burn through all my muscle. But fasting actually helps to promote the secretion of HGH, which is human growth hormone. So there you go, Rob. I know you're not a super fan of fasting, even though you do it, but you're getting older. And that human growth hormone naturally dips as you get older, and fasting is an amazing way to increase your human growth hormone, which means you're going to build more muscle, preserve more lean muscle, and have better athletic performance.
That human growth hormone is going down, but it must be just in my belly because that's what's coming out.
Oh my God, you're so silly.
Number 4, the Bedtime Belly Buster for fat burning and better sleep. Tell me about that.
So the Bedtime Belly Buster is something that we do at night. This is a basically old bodybuilding trick, I'm going to say, where, bodybuilders back in the day used to have like cottage cheese before they went to bed to help not cannibalize the muscle while they slept. But it actually has a really good scientific background. So when you have whey protein, I prefer an undenatured whey protein. That way it's actually easier for your body to break down and more bioavailable to absorb. When you have whey protein before bed, it helps you to trigger melatonin release, so you sleep better. It allows your body to not cannibalize the muscle because you're, supplying the protein branched chain amino acids your body needs to repair. So it increases the repairing. So if you're working out in the gym or if you're a marathon runner, doing this before bed actually helps you recover faster. And it triggers your body to turn into a fat burning furnace overnight. So if your goal is to gain muscle or reduce fat, to do something which we call the bedtime belly buster at night is a complete game changer.
And you know what the thing about the belly buster is? You may be thinking as she's describing it that we're going to give you a protein shake before you go to sleep. That's not what this is. This is different. This is, how many ounces in total is it?
This is really small. It's like 4 ounces of water. It's, less than 20 grams of undenatured whey protein. That's really specific for me. And then we add some other things in that are high mineral, high nutrient quality. That way your body is getting maximum value for that 4 ounces. So it's not like a big protein shake before you go to bed.
Yeah. So it's almost like, I would say it's like the equivalent of almost like a shot. Like you're not doing that much.
Yeah.
And I tell you that because sometimes people, when I've talked to them about this before, they're like, do I have to do like all of this right before I'll pee in the middle of the night? You're not.
You're not. But I will tell you something crazy. So it actually acts as a diuretic in many ways. So you'll wake up, your tummy will be way flatter, less bloated. We've actually done these. We have a private group on Facebook that follows our nutrition program. And we've done a 14-day belly buster protocol where everybody implemented this, took pictures before and after. Your bloat goes down crazy amounts. And a little probably gross for this, but when you wake up in the morning, my friend Chris, she was like, do you pee more in the morning after it? And again, it's only 3 or 4 ounces of water. It's not like you took in a bunch of water. But that diuretic action where you're actually releasing that water weight is, pretty powerful.
Do you still have a group that people can join and learn more about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Just shoot me a DM. I'm happy to add you to our group.
And number 5, tips for better sleep. Kim, I'm going to let you pick this one up.
Yeah. So a lot of people will ask me questions about, how do I get to sleep? I don't sleep well. Sleep, again, this is where your body restores itself. This is where the repair happens. This is where you're resting and your body takes over, regenerating cells and, going through that whole process. So if you don't sleep well, your muscles aren't going to repair, your gut isn't going to repair, your body's not going to detoxify, and you're going to end up aging faster. So sleep is so important. But the thing that gets in the way of sleep is often one, stress, your never-ending to-do list. And Rob doesn't even know what I'm talking about because he literally has earplug, eye mask. Okay, I will take a picture and post it. Earplugs and an eye mask for like the last decade. And he's sleeping, snoring before his head hits the pillow. So he doesn't even know what I'm talking about right now. For anybody else that has a hard time falling asleep, I feel your pain, okay? So a lot of times it's like that chatter. It's the things that on your to-do list that you didn't get done or you need to do tomorrow or you forgot about. So my suggestion is to take that chatter before you go to bed and get a pad of paper and just write out all the little things that you need to do, all of these little things that are rolling around your brain, and get them out. You're going to get a better night's sleep. If you're stressed, Rob does the morning pages where you journal for, 3 pages and you get all of, the 3-ring circus out of your head. Some people, I think that's great to do it in the morning because it clears your brain for the day. But some people need to do it at night. If you have a stressful day, go ahead and do that at night and get that chatter out of your brain. Maybe meditate for 10 minutes, practice gratitude before you go to bed, flood your body with positive emotion and calm your brain, get all of the chatter out. And those are things you can do to help the mindset of falling asleep.
All right, so don't be daunted by all 5 of these things. Pick one. Try and add one new thing and see how you like it. If you like it, use it. If you don't, try another one. So here are 5 things for you to add to your daily regimen. That's it, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. All right, thanks for listening. If you love this episode and you know someone that needs some help in either stepping up their work hard game or their play hard game, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with them to help me get this movement out there. So if you like what you heard, head on over to iTunes, take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, and I will be forever grateful. So until the next episode, excuses are over. It's time to live.